Good morning, everybody. How are we? How you doing? So it's Monday, the 8th of June. Where has the day gone? Where has the month gone? Where has the year gone? Good morning, Fran. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Anne. 7 of you will be jumping on Discord shortly. Just squeezing my paints out. Morning, Sarah. Good morning, Discorders. Are you receiving? Over. Yeah, you. I'm very tired and hay feverish today. In my throat. It's really affecting my throat lately. Which have you just got? Have you just got Prussian blue? Yeah, Prussian blue's fine. Good morning, Louise. Good morning, Robert. Chilly morning today, but I can see a bit of blue sky in amongst the clouds, which is quite nice. Hint of sunshine. Yesterday morning's class was quite fun. We did a turtle and coral in watercolour swimming. Well, the coral wasn't swimming, the turtle was swimming, obviously. But it was quite fun. Nice and wet in wet, bit of cling film. No, go for vermilion. Yeah, you want an orangey red. So I'm not really going to be doing the whole scene. You could if you want to, but that's why I've got a sort of darker background so it will work. This is I don't know if you've got any in stock. This is a brown paper, parcel paper, sort of craft paper it's called now. That's the young term for it, is craft paper. And it should be useful for doing what I'm doing. Now I have changed. This will mean nothing to you, as it means nothing to me. But after research and help from Kevin, thank you, Kevin, I have changed the bit rate. I don't know the bit rate for the broadcasting software I use, and it should therefore be a better picture, and also will stop the image from jerking. It should be much more fluid. There's still a delay because that's just how it works. However, it should stop. You should see my hands gesticulating beautifully and fluidly, and not as jerky and as jumpy, excuse me, as it was. So hopefully that will help, and it will help you in the long term with your lessons as well. So there we go. In fact, I'm watching it and it is a lot less jumpy and a lot more fluid, so that is a bonus. So thank you, Kevin. Right. I'll quickly show you Monday. No, it is Monday. I'll show you yesterday's class because it was fun. They're a little turtle. Oh, good. I'm glad it's better clarity as well. It's because it's set up for people with really decent broadband, and we don't have decent broadband around here really. It's okay and better than some areas in the UK, but it's not perfect. But it was trying to make it too much of a higher resolution than the broadband could cope with. So whether I have to change it more so when I'm back at the shop, I don't know. But anyway, there we go. So I've got white, permanent white, because I'm using Gouache, permanent white, ultramarine, lemon yellow, cadmium yellow, no, lemon yellow, cadmium red, burnt sienna. Got there in the end. But basically a lemony yellow, an orangey red, purple blue, browny brown, and a whitey white. And then I'll build it up. I'll just, what is it, 7 minutes past. I'll wait another minute, just in case any more of you want to join in, or turn up on a Monday morning. Once people remember it is actually a Monday morning. No, I've drawn nothing. I'm winging it today, Chris. Morning, Anne. You alright? Yes, thank you. Busy weekend, because I had my, what did I do? I had a demo on Saturday morning, which was really popular. It's about shadows and making things look 3D in watercolour. That was, you can check that out if you didn't catch it on Saturday morning. You can go to the videos section of the shop page and it will be there. Normally, I said to Jackie about it. I said normally that I used to get excited if we had 20 people watching live and it had 70 views by 2 o'clock. But Saturday, I think we had 74 people watching and it had 450 views by 1 o'clock. So it's really good. It's brilliant that so many people. Yeah, well, do you know what? I did feel like that with the free classes that we did. We're still going to do once every couple of months the free painted on classes. I think between them now they've had 7,000 views. And I did think if everybody who watched it just gave £1, well, that would fix the shop roof. I've got straight after this demo. I've got to go to the shop and fix out the flood damage from the hail on Sunday. The hail was so fast and thick it blocked all of the guttering on the shop roof, and it was pouring down all the walls, apparently. So I couldn't go yesterday because I'd got a class in the morning and a show in the afternoon. So I'm going to have to go today, and I've got some shop appy orders, some online shop orders to sort out. So I'll be doing that, but I'll also be wiping stock down and clearing it up and all of that kind of thing. No, it's the thing that I'm more upset about is it came down the wall where the old photos of Banbury were that were a gift of for me, and all of those frames have got totally decimated and they're full of water. So I hope the photographs aren't damaged, but I'm going to have to get them reframed because the moisture inside the glass, it'll just make everything go mouldy. So it's really, really sad, but nothing I can do about it because A, it's not really my roof. It is my roof, but you know, it's not my house. I don't own it. So it is what it is, but I can't afford anywhere else, so I have to put up with these annoyances from time to time. Anyway, Right, so what I'm going to do is I use it sometimes for my gouache painting, weirdly. I think this had got a dessert in it or something, like a little mini cheesecake, but it's a perfect size for a seed head. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go with a little bit of white. And in fact, I'm just going to paint a few little blobs around the edge. Hither and thither, because I like saying that word. There we go, and it gives me a very faint, rough circle. And then I'll do the same again. Try and do the dots. I'm painting the rim of something. You could use a jam jar lid if you've got those. Tell you what is the perfect size. If you've got those little, you often get them as gift sets. You know, the little honey or marmalade or preserves. Right, so that's my two circles marked out. I don't know if you can actually see them on the photo. They're very faint, but enough for me to see them. Just about. No, they're not showing up at all. I've got a circle there and a circle there. Now the thing is, you see, I'm just going to switch to a slightly bigger brush. I'm going to switch now to a 0 in the miniature painting brushes. Now I'm going to go with a tiny bit of blue, bit of yellow, and a lot of white. Maybe a little bit of brown. Oh yes, okay. So I'm going to paint it in an interesting way. So this will dry probably more visible soon. So these are in the centre of my circles that I printed, and I'm doing that now because I couldn't have done it beforehand, because you can bet your life that I wouldn't have got it in the right place if I'd have printed the circle. And then I'm going to move that one slightly over up here. Do you know how long it takes me to get on my hands and knees looking for perfect composition of dandelions? Do you know, round the back of, I think people must know I'm an artist round here. They must do. But I wanted to find a photo of a rabbit or a hare or a fox or something. So I went up the public footpath up by the fields, and I just spent an hour squat on the floor with my camera phone poised into a bush. It's about 8 o'clock one evening. Never found anything, but a couple of walkers looked at me slightly oddly. You know, what on earth is this bloke doing, squatting on the floor with a camera in a bush? But being very British, they were very polite about it and never said anything. But what else would you be doing, really? What else would you be doing? Good, I'm glad. And is the video fluid now? It's more fluid? It's looking so much nicer. For me, it usually cuts out for my screen time on my laptop after about 20 minutes or so. So I'll wait and see if I still get a clear picture. So I'm going to, as I say, I'm painting backwards. What are you saying, Nick? Good. It's because the bitrate was set for a lot higher than the capabilities. So I did a ping test thing and all of that malarkey. Yeah. I never thought about it, really. Well, I don't understand it, so, you know. Right, so I've mixed some lemon yellow, ultramarine, bit of white, And then I am going to... Now, if I was really clever, and it wasn't early on a Monday morning, I would have put a slightly darker colour on one side. Oh, do you know, I will still see it through. Maybe let it fade out. What I think is really cool with gouache is how it suddenly just appears. It's a bit like, I need a little bit more white because I've lost that one. It's a bit like when you spray pastels with fixative. You panic for a second because it suddenly just disappears. And you think, that's it, it's gone. Lost it forever. And then all of a sudden it dries and it's back. So I'm painting it, because I'm using gouache. If I was working in watercolour, I certainly wouldn't be doing it in this way. In acrylics I could. I'm painting it almost as how it grows, basically forgetting the seeds for now. A few little dots on there. I don't know if it would be helpful. You see, I'm always in two minds with something like this, whether zooming in would be better or whether it's better to see the whole everything. I don't know. I've just mixed a bit of ultramarine, burnt sienna and white together just to do a bit of shading underneath the... I have no idea what these things are called. The things that hold the seed heads, that would be the flower that's then the seed, on the top of the stem. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Fran. It was a really fun demo, and it's something I'm gonna add a little bit. I'm gonna do a slightly darker green with a bit more blue. You see, the trouble is if I use too much white, too much water, I lose opacity. Stick a bit of white in there then. Yeah, it's something that we don't get to spend much time on in class, is how much to work with shadows. Obviously we talk about shadows and we use shadows, but it's slightly different to having it broken down and spoken about, I think. I think that will do. Something like that. Let it dry for a sec. Yes, so I've just added a bit more blue and a little bit of brown. What I find difficult with gouache is, and it's not difficult, it's just getting used to it, isn't it? Is that you want something fluid, so it's got to be running, same as in watercolour and in acrylics. It's got to be fluid, and it's got to be runny enough to do the shapes that you want it to do, but you've also got to have enough pigment in it. And obviously with a lot of water into it, you disperse the pigment so it's not as strong. So it takes a bit of practice. I'm laden with coffee this morning, ready to face the day. Is it too transparent? Yeah, you'll need less water, believe it or not. Yeah. See, I was going to go with black, and I thought, you know what, I think I found this pad. I bought it back with me during lockdown, and I thought, oh, I've not used this at all in 7 weeks, so I might as well use it now. Right, so I've got you up this stuff. I'll have a look when I go in today. I don't think I've got enough to put it on the shop happy, but I might have an odd pad on the shelf. I'll have a look when I go. So what I've got here is a bit of ultramarine with my burnt sienna to make a dark brown. If you've got burnt umber, you could use that. I'm going to use this in 2 ways. Firstly, I'm just going to mix it with a bit of the green that I was using for the stems. And I'm just going to sort of put that bit in there. You can't see them in there, so that's fine. And then I am going to paint the seeds. Please don't think I've gone insane. No, I'm doing it in gouache. The seed heads. I'm doing it in gouache, but I want to do it in. I want to build it up. So because obviously it's a spherical thing, or sort of spherical, isn't it? So you've got the whole white fluffy bits, the parachutes, I think they're called, at the back and at the sides and at the front. So I thought that's why I've not done the background, because I can spend the whole of the demo doing a fairly decentish job, hopefully, of these. Yeah, well, I always like to do it different. I like to keep you on your toes. I don't like complacency. But yeah, you could use a gel pen quite easily with this. Um, it'd be a lot quicker. Yeah, basically, I've just put the seeds on. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, hang on. I might zoom in for this next bit, so you'll... because I'm only going to be using white. You can see how I have my camera. Bold 3-in-1, lavender and chamomile, one of my favourites. No expense spared here, you know. Right, you can see as well, I think, the where my lid, you know, where I painted round or dabbed the actual plastic container for the circles. Right, so I'll be switching to a 2-0 brush, and I could possibly, if I just bring my little tile over there like that. Right, so I want deliberately runny white gouache, so it will be almost transparent. So I am going to be a little, I'll move this out of the way now because I've got a lean on it. And I'm just going to paint little asterisks. I need a little bit. I've made it too transparent. Okay, so there we go. A few more, and I'm going to do the whole circle shape in these soft diluted white. Wow, this is a lot better, isn't it, in terms of watching the video? It's a lot clearer. And I've not seen it freeze once. I don't want to speak too soon and jinx it. Yeah. Little asterisk. So I'm going over the green stem because this is behind. Now the reason why I want this to be pale is because this is the seed heads. I'm probably putting too many on, to be honest, but I'd rather have too many than not enough. And how long have I got? I've got 15 minutes. Oh, I should be able to do all of this in 15 minutes. So these are the ones behind and at the back. And I'm keeping these within the circle that I've given myself, my boundary. It doesn't matter if you've got gaps, because obviously some of the seed head parachutes will... See, this is where I need Jenny Kelly to tell me all this, because I've forgotten my biology and botany and all of that kind of stuff. Because also the seed heads will have blown away, but equally this is just the back end. Okay, so that's really pale, really light. Soft. So now I'm going to mix a slightly thicker white, some little lines coming off the seed heads there, because basically everything has to get covered up now. And then this thicker, more opaque white. So if you notice what I'm doing, I am trying to treat each one individually, and they sort of curve upwards. And I'm going to curve them less the more I come into the centre of the flower or the seed head. I love dandelions, by the way. I do love them. I know they love lawns, but what is it Alan Titchmarsh says? A weed is only a flower in the wrong place. But yeah, teeth, lion's teeth. Yeah, the back one's really dilute, and it's to give it that feel of density. Because I've seen lots of people over the years, and you know, even when I'm looking on social media for stuff and inspiration, you see some, and they're very stylized, but they don't ever feel light and fluffy. It's very easy to make them clumpy and cumbersome. But this way you're building it up. So the top layer is thicker white, and I really want to try and get these all done, because there's a few other bits that I want to add to make it more exciting. I know you're thinking, how can you make a painting of some dandelions exciting? But you know, depends on what you view as exciting and how locked away you've been for 12 weeks. So you can... It's what? What's gloopy? Oh, I might have been talking a bit quieter because I'm literally eating the microphone. Because I'm sitting right on it. It's under my mouth as we speak. Or audio on Facebook or audio on here. Oh, I could have been moving out of the way. I'm not very good at sitting still. Good. So a stronger white as we get round. How are we doing? Oh, yeah. I didn't actually start painting till 10 past, did I? So that's fine. Build it up. Put a few over where the seeds are. Bless you. So I'm not going for botanical at all. I'm going for aesthetic. Yeah, I think it's too dark a surface, really. I don't even think acrylics would work well on black paper for this, because there's too much scope for it to go wrong. Oh, I've got to do the same with that other one. What I'm going to quickly do, I'll save moving the camera, I'm just going to move this down a fraction. You see, with gouache, you can't tell what it will be like until it's dried. And that's what's the tricky thing, I think. It's hard to know if you've made it opaque enough. But because it's layers, it's fine to go back with more opaque ones randomly that sort of overlap some of the others. It's fine. want to try and break up the perfect circle-ness of the circles. I've just had a spam email come through, and I know it's a spam email without opening it because it's from British Gas about the bill that I haven't paid. And now, obviously, I live in the middle of the countryside where none of the villages in Oxfordshire have gas. That's an easy one. I don't have to even think about that as spam because I know it is. I get so many spam emails, but clearly they must work because otherwise people wouldn't send them out. Yeah. It's horrid. Horrid. Right, let me move on to this other one. And do the same thing with my transparent version. So, you could use a different white. You could use mixing white. Yeah, well, it's called zinc white in gouache, yeah. Zinc white often comes in some of the sets. But I never use it. I just rather dilute the opaque white because I tend to like the vibrancy. Because what I like with the permanent white, because it's called permanent white, not titanium white in gouache. What I like with that, and I've been doing it, I was working on a commission and I just needed 0.5 millimetre of yellow, and I didn't want to squeeze my yellow gouache out, so I just used white gouache with my lemon yellow watercolour paint, which is what they used to do back in the day when this was called body colour. So there was only white gouache available from about the Elizabethan period, because Nicholas Hilliard used them in his portraits, and it was called body colour then because it added body to the watercolour. So it would be a white gouache because it's made with chalk. So it's basically a white watercolour with more pigment and chalk, which is why it has that chalky matte finish. And what you'd do is you'd add white body colour to your normal watercolours, and it would make your colours more opaque. So if you're not sure about buying gouache, just buy a tube of white. And if you're only going to buy the tube of white, get the designer gouache, which is about £6 for 14mm, which sounds a lot, but I've not even used a fraction of what I've squeezed out. So what I do is, like for my commissions, I've been doing quite a few portrait commissions in gouache at home, is I keep it on this saucer. And you can tell it's it's nearly all animal portraiture that my gouache portraits are. And this tile, I will just keep either adding to, or I give it a bit of I wet each one with the brush, and it reconstitutes it straight away. And I can use it again and again and again. So I find it easier just to keep the paints. I'll probably have to try and decant these back into the tubes. Little cross, little cross. I'm rushing now because of the time. You done it already? Flipping heck. Oh, but what you can do though, let it dry totally, and you can put more white over the top of it, you know? Yeah. Yeah, and also you could use probably a bit of gel pen within it over the top to get an added opacity, because we've done it in the past with as Chris was saying, we've I try and do a dandelion every couple of years because I do enjoy them. We've done them in acrylic, so we're doing it tomorrow night in pencil. I've done them in pencil before, but I think I'm going to do it in a slightly different way tomorrow night. And we've done them in, I don't know if we've done it in gouache. I've done them in watercolour. In watercolour we did one whole lesson where we used masking fluid to do this exact same thing of the little crisscrosses, and then when we put the watercolour wash over it, the green background looks really effective. So there's lots of ways in which you can create this effect. And it's okay to go over some of the seeds, because that then looks like you've got the parachutes in front of you. Will you go back to it or probably leave it like that? I've not had a look yet, I've just seen it flag up. Well, you see, that's it. You see, it's that I've had to force myself to be random with these. You know, I wanted them in a bit of a line just because it's easier for the paper, but I didn't want them to be in a perfect line. What, with gouache? Yeah, I mean, because you're not using tons of water, are you? This is only I don't know what it is. It's about 160 gram. I think pastel paper's around about 200, so it should be all right. Because if you were going to put a wash of a background on and all of that kind of thing, I think it would probably not work well. But in terms of this, it should work really nicely. I just want it to feel a little bit milkier on the stem, so I'm using the same white just on the left hand side. If I'd really geared up my my little flat brush that I used at the start, I could have put a light green on the left, a mid green in the middle, and a dark green on the right. So when I did it all in one go, it would give me a 3D. That's called tube loading, that is. Because it makes it look like a tube. Yeah, so the flat brush. I mean, what you could do, if you were going to do it in a flat brush, you could do the mid-green colour all over, and then just use another brush to add white on one side and a darker colour on the other, and then when you drag it down, it if I might do a couple of blades of grass like that in a second, but yeah, zoom out just, yeah, he did it with his fan brush I think as well, didn't he, sometimes. Just zooming out so you can get an idea. Just got to wait for the delay so I can see the zooming out to know I've got it in the right place. And then I'm going to have a few. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to have 5. Right, let me tube load a brush. So I've got this, the miniature painting 1/8 of an inch brush, and I'll do some I might do it just as a. Well, actually, if I go to my software, I can tell. So I get 30 seconds more, don't I? Okay, so I've got my flat brush here, so if I go back, make a mid-green, lemon yellow and ultramarine, load the brush up. Then if I use another brush to make a darker green, a bit more blue. Tiny bit of brown. You know I haven't used any of the red, have I? So I've got my light green all over my brush here. Then I'm going to cut in half of my brush with the dark. Hopefully this will work. Has it worked? No. I think I need more of the dark to be darker. There we go, look. I've got a light bit and a dark bit. On the grass. More contrast. sort of like that. I'm not going to do any more to that, I don't think. I think I'm going to leave it. I can use my... Oh, put a little ladybird or a little dragonfly or anything, but I'm not going to do that. So you can see that double loading of the brush there. Where it's light on one side, dark on the other. It works quite well. So there's the image up close. With a few wafty seeds floating away. And it changes, it adds to the composition when you, because it uses that space. You can do all sorts. I could even add a few more opaque white parachutes on some of this just to make them feel like they're in front. So much thicker. Well, I don't know if you'd feel like you'd want to give it a and tell the time with it, but you can see it's certainly got a delicacy that you may not be able to get in other media. So there you go, definitely not going to do any more. And I managed to do it in 45 minutes. So next week is a rowing boat on a beach in acrylics. So that'd be nice. A bit of boat practice and a bit of acrylic practice. So maybe a bit of spattering going on as well. I don't know. See how I feel on Monday morning. So there you have it. There's your dandelions today. I'll post the picture up as the reference shortly. And thank you. It's nice and delicate. I'll close up again so you can see. But it's nice. A darker paper works better, but you could even put, to be honest, if you've just got watercolour paper, you could put a wet wash of blues and greens in the background. Let it dry totally, and then add your gouache on top. Just need to scroll the comments. Good, I'm glad you like that, Sarah. Thank you. I know it would appeal to a few of you. It's not flowery as such, but it is nice to do something different every now and again. Just to try your hand, but having that multiple layers. If we'd have just done the seed head just in one layer of white with those little asterisks over it, it would look okay, but it wouldn't look three-dimensional. It wouldn't have a front, a back, a side, and a top and a bottom. So by doing the more transparent colours and then doing more opaque colours over the top, it adds depth to something, which works really well. So thank you so much for joining me today. How many of you were here? 11 of you. How lovely. Lovely to have 11 of you with you. And hopefully you found the quality of the video. It's only taken me 12 weeks. But, you know, everything's a learning curve, isn't it? And a work in progress. So, hopefully the clarity was better and the fluidity was better for you. And there was less... and the only jerk is the one painting. So, we'll see how we get on. I'll quickly run through this week. So tonight is Kinver Edge Rock Houses in watercolour. There's no acrylic class tomorrow. Tuesday evening is a Dandelion Seedhead in pencil. Wednesday afternoon drawing class is a Tudor ruin, so you won't have to worry too much about perspective with a ruin. A vase of flowers in pastel on Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, Kinver Edge Rock Houses. Friday afternoon, a view of Bala, and Saturday morning is the calligraphy class, and it's a quote on a bookmark. It should be using Resist, but I think that's one step too far during lockdown because I normally provide the supplies for that. So there you have it. So thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing what you've created when you create it. Don't feel under pressure to do it in the next 10 minutes. And it'd be nice. Enjoy the rest of your day. If I'm not seeing you until next Monday, enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye. Yeah, see you tonight. Thank you.